is annoying. Because it just... And you can see that bar right there, the please wait. It only lasted for a second and immediately left. And that's happened to me.
It happens with a rep to finish my Settler rep, and probably left to go do Meat Week. I want to join him just because tomorrow I'll be doing Ward, and I'll finally be hopefully fucking done with this shit. Doing a lot smoother. That's the good news, is the Raiders are ungrateful as fuck, and they give you 2 quests to do. Ward is giving me less rewards for the best outcome, because I'm donating myself to the foundation, but at least I'm getting grateful outsiders. I want to mention that I'm very grateful for that. I'm going to say that, knowing that it's probably going to fuck me over. I'm very grateful that this side of the rep board, though it was kind of a shitty vault raid, had a better reward to me, because the settlers actually admittingly give you better loot most of the time. Like, killing the possums or killing the raiders, I did that. And all that stuff. But there was a rad storm when we were in it, and I didn't get that recording because I didn't feel it. It was infuriating. It did it to me in the red. I even waited till the red storm ended to make sure that the red storm wasn't the issue. And then I just kind of walked. I had to walk around for at least a good 5 minutes, maybe max, before it let me actually go to you. So it's just. That stuff existed for a little bit. I wouldn't say beta. Its roots don't tie back to beta, but I can remember having to deal with it. As far back as 2 years ago with Mage. That's happened before. And then it was like, oh, well, it's fixed, or they said they addressed some issues regarding it, and that was back when when their patch notes were pulled up on a non-existent news thing. That didn't exist until the fucking roadmap was created. The thing that shows up in your face and talks about the seasons, the original form of that, it's the roadmap. The news thing is part of that roadmap. And this happened before, so if you had an issue, you kind of go on Reddit, or it's Bugfest, what do you expect? Or you just kind of try to fix it yourself. And like I said, this is 2 years ago, I was still having kind of this issue, but it wasn't as apparent as it was when Wastelanders dropped. And it started doing it. And sometimes fast traveling is the case of life and death itself. If you can't fast travel out of a certain situation, you're at the mercy of the game you're playing. Completely at its mercy. You are pointlessly hopeless to be able to do anything for yourself. I mean, you can obviously, but when I mean this is since they did the nerf is, I knew it was going to be bad for those who had guns, but when I'll put it in more detail what happened and why people are so scared. You're no longer multiplying your stack ups, you're adding them in. They're an add-on. You don't take your overall your base damage and multiply the bloody build things, your weapon add-in that make your weapon tough. You have to add them in, which makes your bloody builds, especially the bloody builds, do a significantly weaker damage output than other weapons. Now, there was other groups that did get what I'll call mildly punished. I'm calling it punished because, again, people are leaving the game. I'm sure as we speak, people are getting pissed and leaving because of this. But, again, it is a little bit of an overreaction. Because a lot of people hear the word weapon nerf, and they get scared to the point where they're like, fuck you, Bethesda. I'm going to go hide this corner because you just downgraded my shit. Really, you didn't. I mean, bloody builds were, granted, affected the most, but it wasn't so bad that you're doing... For me, I do quality of life, so it wasn't going to bother me a damn bit. I don't really... I can use a bloody build, but no different than me using any build in the game. And again, that's kind of what I want to mention. People are flipping their lids and panicking, like, oh shit, Bethesda just took my stuff down. I don't like that. But it just means you're no longer going to do 1,000 minimum if you have the right builds, because there's some that do like 4K or whatever, maybe. And it's not even exaggerating, but that's how much damage they can do. Do Do they always? No. But Bethesda just made it harder to do that. They kept out a different method. I said that's because it was multiplying every weapon, upgrade thing you had on the gun, every perk card that was like, the Commando Stealth, Radical, which flat out makes you more strength. Some of those don't help you directly, but there was some perk card you had to get that directly influenced your output. So the Commando builds, Ground Pounder, Grenader, Demolitions Expert, things like that, they directly have high ranking, and they do a lot more to make you do something better. Were nerfed on the gun level, or melee as well. But people kind of got mad, and rightfully so. Of course, you spent your whole. If you know the perk card system very well in this game too, Ron, by the fact that if you fuck your shit up while moving points, which a lot of people seem to do, they have to flat out remove all their points. Or they usually end up starting a whole character over because they spend more than 2 days trying to fix their shit. But they end up making a new character. That character is no longer relevant, and then they have to start over a completely new character. And then have to move all their shit over when they get to the rank to use it, which some people have been unlucky and having to do that twice, so they leave the game and don't come back. A lot of those people that were taking a quote-unquote break, a long-term vacation from Fallout, where a lot of them were either people that did, like me, don't support the game company for some things, or were people like that have been, I guess you could call it burden. You could technically call it burdened by the perk card system. And it can be a burden, but so can the weight system. So I don't think I can really fault Bethesda for their already faulted game anymore, just because of that one thing. Because again, it could always be worse. And that's what I'm trying to. And by making a new character, at the same time, I wanted to contradict our video. Besides the fact that this will be a what we will call, I'm going to call it launching for a new little thing I've started on Bromby's channel until I figure, and again, I'm still working up the kinks for my channel, but my character is a guide, and basically we're just going to go out and we're going to find things to do. And if we find a bug, we can log it. And these videos will be, in essence, a visual and audio form of you opening a logbook and writing down day whatever, found this weird-looking deer, and it had, like, green fur, and it changed colors over the seasons as a Pokemon reference. But, you know what I'm saying? It's a field guide. It talks about it.
Let's talk about this. Right. We were walking around the, I think it was, might have been Huntersville. We saw this.
Huntersville.
We ended up seeing a floater pod. It was a floater that was stuck in the ground. It refused to move.
That fucker's ugly.
We managed to get it to move. We threw a grenade at it.
He was in the ground, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one that was in the ground? I don't remember getting him out.
And then once he come out of the ground, all animation just stopped. They completely stopped. Like, you can see it right now. He's burning, and that flames aren't moving. His body, his eyes, everything, nothing is moving there. He's just fucking stuck in space.
The animation is as soulless as my ability to care. I love that. Thanks, Clover. There's a quote from Clover just now. She's existing in the same room as me right now. That's funny. Yeah. I just thought I'd throw that in there because Clover.
Yeah. But there's not one of the things that I want to run into every day. A bug as hell floater spawn.
Oh, God. An invisible charred feral ghoul that actually so happens to not be invisible, but floats in the air and still can deliver dangerous weaponry blows to your body.
Oh, God.
That's another one that still happens. And it's not always charred feral ghouls either. It's really whatever you're experiencing. You could fill in the void to be charred feral ghoul, or just a bloated glowing one, or anything worse or less worse. I mean, it's pretty bad, honestly. To be truly honest with you, I see why people are leaving, and I completely understand it. There are a lot of even the most loving. Fuck! I just burned my hand on my food. Oh, that fucking hurt. That's gonna be a burn later. Remember, don't touch metal, hot metal, because it's been in the microwave. Or not metal, but it's not really metal, but it's. I just dropped my fork in the hot liquid. I'm okay. Don't worry, Brahma. Don't even ask. I'm okay. But what was I talking about? The sudden pain on my thumb made me forget what I was speaking about. Oh yeah, you can really just feel in anything as this. It's either invisible and attacking you, or right there, visible but not moving. It's still causing you damage. It's like Go-Go Gadget neck the Scorch. Now make him stand there moving, but he doesn't attack you. He's got his animation for ambient where he's just walking around us. You don't really hear him say anything. He doesn't move, yet no matter where you go in the game, if you don't fast travel, because you can't, he's shooting at you and you're taking almost a constant layer of health damage. That's happened before too, and that goes as far as back as beta. Oh, that's a good one. Poor beta guy. That's sad. That's pretty damn sad. Let's mention that. Another one I want to talk about is bad people. This is from a Reddit user named Suits and Stripes 2 hours ago. It's actually, I don't know what this is. It's called on the follow Reddit website thing. It says, I miss Graham's meat cook because level 320 wouldn't stop knifing me, so I couldn't fast travel. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor. That poor guy. No, that just shows you that it's just, and what's worse is people are telling him you can get poked with a knife and still fast travel, and the guy's like, can't fast travel with taking health damage. So he was being harassed by a player, and they're just kind of trying to help him fix it. But I want to mention that these events over the years, ever since I'm going to truly say since the first ever launch, in what I can directly remember, the first ever launch of Fashnak, players of the dankest and most sinister form crawled out of their own gate of hell and ascended upon our realm of the wasteland, and only further released a cornerstone of toxic players in Todd's wasteland. These guys don't have a middle ground. Their middle ground is, oh, you don't like PvP? Too bad. I'm going to find a way to force it. That BOS group I mentioned in the past was kind of one of in that group that didn't give a fuck if you didn't like PvP, and the company bans them. They have like 200 other accounts, and they'll keep harassing you. Again, the motto was, until you kill yourself or stop playing, we will not leave you alone. They meant like Xbox. Like, you need to go in alias mode. Don't fake your death or go try to witness protection, but it might be good to consider. Yeah. And given the amount of effort they go into to chase you around other games, too. Yeah. I remember times where we had happened to me and Amber, and we had a different game we were dying to play and I forgot to tell Amber to go on offline mode, so they couldn't bother you. And, they saw we had the game, and this game was about $20 on the Xbox. They everyone in the group flat out bought that game just to go harass me and Amber. So, some of the stupidity of harassing or ruining events for other people, being just getting that what the report for unsporting behavior is for, as far as I could remember back, has been happening really bad since the first Fashnak. I mean, it could go further back than that, but again, I'm just putting that out for as far back as I noticed. I played the first meat week, and I've been around since almost beta, not quite in beta. I wasn't a beta player, but I played enough of the game then to know enough about beta to know that was Bethesda's quote-unquote rocky start. That was them doing that on purpose, but they were smarter then than they are now. I don't really want to elaborate on what I mean by smarter then compared to now.
Smarter then?
I will not elaborate. We don't need to, because it only causes extra drama somewhere. I'm just going to put what I said and leave it. But this will be a first video for many. Until any bug we find, there will be, some of them will be lol, ha ha funny, to this is an intriguing, bittersweet end to a good 2-hour gameplay. One thing that'll make you rage quit, but you also might be saying GG or what the fuck, you know.
Also, I have one more to mention. This was when you had one of your, I think it was, you might have had a camp in the bog. I don't exactly remember, but I remember we were in the bog for something. And I ended up getting fucking mocked. I was in your grill, in your tent, I think. And you crashed or got dashboarded. And what happened was I was basically stuck in the animation of... I was able to walk, as you guys can see, but I was basically walking sideways because I was stuck in the animation of being in your grill. I even had the spatula and the meat floating right in front of my face and everything. It's just...
It's sad. Some of those may have been fixed, though silently, but to my personal opinion, they shouldn't have been there in the first place. If they were, they should have been fixed and they'd known that they fixed. You know, because they never would have ever acknowledged those problems, the ones that we still see to this day. That can still happen to you, though not as likely, but it's still possible, especially every time they release an update, it fucks something else up. Every update they make fucks something else up. You could have I'm going to refer to the bugs as a disease in an ice tube. Every update, they're melting that a piece of the ice tube to see what's inside, and they accidentally release a plague of bugs on the community. This time it was as far back as probably beta, inability to fast travel no matter what. I mean, yeah, that seems pretty bad to me. And I'm going to refer to it as an ice tube because scientists find all sorts of diseases going back to creation that could easily end life on our planet. I'm going to use that in the form of Bethesda as well, because Fallout is a version of us. And also, it fits my character as an explorer. But it worries me to think about it, that every time they make an update, I was being serious when I made a post about it. I'm always happy to see the words Fallout's getting an update, but I never put in the post because I didn't want to start any drama on the Fallout Reddit. Then it also scares the fuck out of me knowing what will happen in the next 2 days. Although we're a half-ass sorry post from the company saying, whoops, we found a thanks you guys telling us about bugs that we should have known about. We've been able to fix 30 or more issues, and we're still going to be making a patch note on Tuesday. And it's more or less turn the volume on Todd now and turn the game volume of something else up, because it's like you don't even deserve my time to talk to you. Yeah. You just kind of roll your eyes and just turn up the volume to something else, because Todd's just going to say, well, we're sorry, that he's going to do it for show. Or sometimes if it's game breaking, there's a ban waive in consideration. You know, the Nuka Shab, the soft log was started by a malicious player who got mad at somebody for something they did or didn't do. It was so narcissistic that he just kind of gave them a Nuka shot, and they were low enough a level, like, or brain functionality or something, that I didn't think that's probably not something I should be accepting from this guy since he's, literally narcissistic as fuck. But they drank it, nonetheless. And that's where the Nuka Shine glitch kind of got its real start. And no, the player who gave him the Nuka Shine didn't put that in the game. But because of one malicious player in a dying, already then dying community, the whole world of the Wasteland realized, hey, we can do that. So when shit started happening and people started getting angry, they were receiving such punishments for playing the game, things got done. And as far as I'm aware, it only remained a consideration. It never became like, you did this many times, get the fuck out. You're getting in trouble, basically. As far as I'm aware, they even considered, I think it was all, again, for show, because a lot of things I hear from Todd is, I laugh. I say, you're just saying that to make yourself look good, because you never do it. But they consider banning a lot of people because of that. In fact, I haven't seen Kev Do It exist in a while, so I would even just say Kev Do It probably got a ban, because again, he went around giving that to people just because, for the lulz. Stupid. Again, that's what I mean by people with they don't have a moral compass in a way that fits in with the rest of society, and they don't, to their form of fun is often even times frowned upon by society, but they do it anyways because, again, the worst kind of people exist in society when they believe they're not being watched. That's why certain video games that pay attention to what you do and what you play, you can talk about the NPC in that one old game where you talk about Sand saying, I know what you're doing, don't think I don't know. I remember how many times you've restarted. Those games are oftentimes avoided by people like him because the thought of me, and I'll put me as in Kev Do It, doing something like giving Nuka Shine to a low-level player out of a good gesture to help him understand the game as my wasteland, not his to share, the quicker I'll feel good about myself. But the idea of a game that knows I'm doing that and acknowledges it. Now imagine if you did something like that and the players or the NPCs are like, dude, what the fuck? He just left the vault. That would really catch anyone doing wrong off guard. Wouldn't you say?
The kid had just left the vault. Why are you intoxicating him?
Right. It would make people like Kev Do It not do it. Because, why would you even consider it in the first place? How stupidly hateful do you have to be to consider giving a low level, just giving them that item? Like, you're toxic. That's toxic. That is the definition of toxic. Getting mad and trolling or doing an ill justice to an individual through usually unsporting behavior and for the sake of your own amusement as an act of revenge in a way as well. It kind of fits in as an act of revenge, technically. But he does it to low levels, which means he's doing it to be toxic without the need of revenge, which is the worst form of toxicity, because there's many different forms of this thing called toxicity, but his is the worst, because he just kind of, okay, cool, there's a noob, just left the vault, I'm going to chat with him in area chat, and give him a drink that's could possibly soft lock him. Out of all the videos he's made, out of all the ones he's made, okay, this is going to blow your fucking mind, and so will not dip. Every single low level that he gave Nuka Shine to, out of, we'll just say 20, because I'm sure he's done more than this, 10 to 15 of them had gotten that lock-in. And they had to start over. At level 1 to 5, and it's because of him they had to start over. And you know what they're doing now? Not playing Fallout. Because he ruined that experience for them right out the gate to the point where they don't play anymore. They won't. I've even contacted some of these individuals. They won't play the game anymore. They said they'd rather die of AIDS or other things dramatic because he ruined their experience for the game. They said, I don't like to play games anymore. Even two of them even don't play games anymore. They're missing out in the gaming world as a whole because of someone like him ruined their experience of not just a game, but ruined how they see a high-level player. And that's a form of cyberbullying now. It's at this point, it went from him doing a LOL video to committing the biggest form of cyberbullying that I believe you can ever make. By ruining those people's lives, they won't play anymore. I mean, how big of an ass do certain players have to be with all their heart and soul to do something like that, to want to do something like that? It's unnecessary. But shit happens, right?
Yeah,
it just kind of happens, and I don't think people like him even think about it in the end, because I mean, he's a famous YouTuber, according to him. He's a famous YouTuber, and whatever he's going to do is going to get lols. I sure as hell hope that ain't true. Just thinking about that makes me angry to think that someone on his channel enjoys that kind of bullshit. They enjoy watching low levels get punished and or killed for just being a low level. It's unacceptable. This kind of gameplay that he's bringing to the table is unacceptable to me, and that's kind of why I was happy to see that he just ceased to exist. I haven't seen him exist anywhere in any video game at all. I've seen him exist the one of the last times he did his Nuka Shot video, and I gave him enough hell that I would hope he never comes back to a video game like Fallout, because just the way he acted so toxically. And his only comment to me was, hey man, if they were dumb enough to accept a good gesture from a high-level player that knows what they're doing, it's not my fault if they suffered for it. I was very toxic back then. He deserved every damn bit of it as well. I want to mention that outright. But I want to apologize. You know why? Because everything I said to him was true. You're just mad that someone had the balls to start a character over and enjoy the game, fresh start, new beginning, and want to have fun. You were so ass hurt that someone acted nicer and hell even better than you on a moral compass that you gave them a drink on purpose to screw up their gameplay for the quote-unquote lols. Grow up. You sound like Diamond Minecart's little piece of shit moment where he is brother, or Preston Plays is what I said, Preston Plays, sorry. You sound like Preston Plays in his fake videos about trolling his brother. You're faker than that. And you're older than him. And I ended up calling him a man-child. I said, man-child like you do not deserve to play video games with people like us, the community. Because most of your videos are cheating videos where you mod the game or hack the game to show off some kind of cool thing you did, or bullying someone else out of the game for the lulz, and not even giving it a second thought that you may have ruined everything. He eventually left, but I sent him a wonderful little present that admittingly will probably keep him from playing Fallout for a long time. And if he does, fine with me. I don't give a damn. I made my point very, very clear to him when I sent it. It was a little video of a compilation of things that would scare the fuck out of any civilian that's not in the military about. And I said, there's only one difference between someone like you and a friendly gamer. You know what that compilation consisted of? Just take a long ass guess. Terrorists doing executions picture of the Brotherhood of Steel doing an execution. Hitler shooting himself in the head, and the Navy and some American soldiers penetrating and blowing up tanks during their service. I said the only difference on people like us that are actually good and people like you is you're on the receiving end of every single one of these, and you're gonna fail eventually. You're gonna slip and you're gonna fall into the abyss of non-existence, I guess. I used another word to mean that you're irrelevancy or something like that. And we're still going to be here, and you're going to be as outdated as MySpace. No one's even going to remember the fuck you are, because you're going to be that big of a piece of shit in the end. You bully or mess with people, and I mean, I re-mentioned it. Your videos are 100% clout related. Eventually, you already set your channel up to be as outdated as MySpace, and I'm going to be here waiting when you do become outdated. And it's going to hurt. I know it hurt him because I was in my military uniform as well. And I put the rifle on my back, and I went off I walked out of the door, the video was still running. I left it. The video thing, it was on a timer feed, so when I left the room, the video was going to cut off. And it did. I sent it, and I had it automatically sent to him. I can't stand it when a YouTuber does it, but again, the bugs kind of helped as well. Again, those kind of bugs kind of existed a long time ago, but does that mean does he need to be using that? No. Did he? Yeah. You don't need, right, it's an exploit. You're right, Rob. You're absolutely right. It's an exploit.
I'd be like saying, I have a firearm. I have the right to go. Firearms exist, so I have the right to go use them in appropriate ways.
Your amendment right does no longer exist if you go into a building full of people and start shooting off into the crowd. When the cops get a hold of you and you're on their receiving end of the bullets and they're pointing at you and telling you to get on the ground, they're going to shoot you when you say it was my amendment right to use this firearm in whatever way I see fit. They're just going to shoot you because you're the equivalent of a terrorist. Going to a crowd of people and just shooting off a firearm and then saying, oh wow, it was my amendment right, you can't arrest me for that. They're going to shoot you. If they arrest you, they might, but they're likely going to shoot you. And if not, you'll be killed in prison by an inmate. Because inmates really don't like certain people. I thought that was kind of funny how that worked. Because I know a few guys who have done their time in prison, in high prisons, not just something as like you shared a cell with some inmate that his highest charge he's probably had was vehicular manslaughter and illegal possession of a firearm. Some of these people I know were like insane asylum, padded room inmates. And that's one of the things they mention on occasions, is if you did something that not only does society hate, but the people in the prison hated, when you get in there, you're the first one they're going to shank. And the guards are going to say, well, he did go into a crowd of people and kill almost everyone in the building with their firearm, and they're not going to care. He's going to tell you the guards don't care if something on any level like that happens, because those guards that patrol know your record. So if you get toxic in prison, they're not gonna tell you that, hey, if you keep acting like that, someone's gonna shank you, or do worse things, or do less things to you, like rape you and then kill you, or other things. They're just gonna let it happen. They're gonna say, well, I'll just put this guard, the one that did it, I'll put him in solitary for a week or so, and then let him back out. He won't get punished at all because he did someone a favor in the end. But hey, You know, I think Kev Dewitt's on his way to doing that as well. I really do. Kev Dewitt might be better off with the revoking of his ability to make YouTube videos. You know, I can also mention that, mention Mars for a minute. Mars was watching one of his videos because it ends up on her suggested feed as well. And seeing what he did to those people and the videos that he makes about this is a totally legit Fallout weapon that fucking explodes like it does. You know, it made her cry. It made Mars cry. 14 years old, the first video she saw of him made her cry. To think that someone in the game that Dad plays is so hateful to do that to other people of a lower level, because she didn't get very far in the game before she quit because of how the game is. What does that say? What does that say for him?
That just straight up tells.
I know what it says. That YouTube needs to act and take his account away from him at all.
Exactly.
Because it's pretty bad. I'm sorry for that. I have to do this phone call real quick. I'll be back.
Okay. And while we wait.
Right here. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Because I'm using my speakerphone right now. My phone was dying the whole time we were doing our video. It made it to the end. I'm surprised it didn't crash. But I'm still here. I'm still chatting. But I want to make sure that I came back after that. But people like that need to go. It makes the... Did we just miss Meat Week just now? Or did I miss Meat Week? Because
no, you
201.
Not yet. It's barely.
Did it just start?
It just started, but we gotta wait a minute for the thing.
Okay, I better go hop on this. But that's what I wanted to mention about it, and how I feel about these situations. Just mainly to go back to what we were talking about before I had to rant about the piece of shit that is Kev Dewitt, because I don't think anyone finds any of that funny. But back to what we were talking about prior, I'm looking forward to making a lighthearted and sometimes not so lighthearted logbook in the form of videos in regards to some things in the game. Some of it might not always be a logbook about a glitch or a bug. I might do a couple interesting bonus contents, is what I'll call them. Extra stories or something, and the videos are like stories that may not adhere to a glitch or a bug, and it might talk about a glitch or a bug and how it benefited the community and where that bug likely is currently in modern times in appearance to the wasteland. We might also talk about moments that those bugs cause, especially like really funny.
And if you want to follow us in our log, and so you'll get to see some extra stuff in between. We Twitch stream. If he's not, I am, and sometimes we both are.
And that might be some cool content that doesn't actually get logged into the book, and it might get logged into the book as we're doing it. But yes, I'm actually going to be Twitch streaming right now. If it works, because it didn't let me do it last time. If it works, I'll be Twitch streaming what little bit of time that I don't really feel like playing this game. Honestly, I'll still play with Brombite. But if it lets me Twitch stream, it's been stopping me each time and telling me there's problems. There it goes again. There it goes. It did not work though. I don't understand. That is weird.
try restarting the Twitch app. I had to do that a time before.
I'm using the Xbox, so it's not a problem.
But I know, but like, I had to completely dashboard out of Twitch. Like I had to
Not
quit.
letting it. That's what I'm saying. I'm stuck in Twitch now. Yay! Let's do one about Twitch. Oh God! What do you mean there's an error while loading your broadcast? God, this image is too strong.
I'll start one. For the both of us.
Okay.
But no, as of right now, that'll be the end of this video. Thank you guys for being here and providing your video of what you wanted to talk about. I had some extra stuff that I had been holding on for well, a good few months now, but it was still notable because
I kind of think,
changed.
and I think after the video is, after we get done making this series going through, I would like to propose a thing to go on in regards of all the things we sent. I think we need to stock up on pesticides, on the metaphorical term of cleaning the wasteland. Is there a death claw over here? Oh, that's a player running around. God, the screen was sitting here shaking. I was like, shit, it's a player. But metaphorically, we need to stock up on pesticide, meaning the bugs need to get. They're cool, they're interesting. Some of them have actually benefited the community as a whole. But with Bethesda running the wasteland as they are, I would like to see the bugs get removed as much as they can at a time. Come on, it's not hard. Especially, again, every time they make an update, there's always that one that might be new or might show up from the old. But I just think I would like to see it, you know what I mean? I'd like to see the wasteland more flora and fauna, and less flora, and instead of less flora and fauna, and more sculptulas and poisonous ticks or something, you know. I made his own reference there. Squash those bugs, guys.
Yeah, let's squash them. But anyway.
If we can. Or make note of them, please.
Right, we will make note of them. Might have to screen record since I'm Twitch streaming. It probably won't let me get a screen or record my game. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys for being here and providing your
You're welcome.
And thank you guys for watching. I will link
this is the bookmark into a new growing chapter.
Yeah,
I look forward to writing another page.
I look forward to it as well.